All right. I have so much to do today. We must get to Gorilla's tapes of him addressing that college audience. Stuttering John. I could do a whole show today on interns. Since we just talked to Christine, the sexy intern. How about John, the stupid intern?
Oh, what did he do?
No, he was really weird. You know, John has a record. He got a deal with Atlantic Records, which I'm very happy for the guy. I think John is a really nice kid. You know, we kid him on the air and everything, and he stutters and all that. We tease him. But I know you like him a lot, and I like him. And everyone on the show likes him.
Yeah.
He's a likable guy. He's a bit of a screw-up, but that's okay because he stutters. And
He's funny when he does it.
Yeah. At least he's funny. And he entertains us. And quite frankly, Robin, occasionally you'll get together with him and go for a lunch or, you like him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
John is a friend of mine.
Right.
I wouldn't deny it.
He means well.
He means well. So he got a record deal, which is, how many people ever get a record deal in their lives?
Not a lot.
I'm about to yell at you.
I figured this as much.
Yeah, because you really deserve it. And I like you. I like you a lot. I think I would do anything for you within reason, If you asked me a favor, I would come through for you. If you needed my advice, I would give you my advice. And I've always tried to be there for you. And the fact that you got a deal with Atlantic Records, when your record comes out, I've told you I'll play it. I'd like to play it on the air and give you a little plug because I think the music's good. I've been very generous that way.
Mm-hmm.
But John knows how I act. I mean, John has been here. How many years you been here?
6 years in August.
Right. And John knows that I have sort of a plan. I don't like to, when I did my book, it was very uncomfortable to do a lot of these television appearances because, quite frankly, we're on 4 or 5 hours a day.
Yes.
And it's enough. I don't need to be on TV, too, and all that other stuff. And you got to limit the amount of times you make an appearance on Letterman. You got to limit the amount of times you make an appearance on Leno because otherwise it becomes very ordinary, right? I mean, that's my strategy anyway. And I think it's most people's strategy in terms of this business because you don't want to be overexposed.
If you have a strategy.
Yeah.
Unlike Jackie.
Right. Well, Jackie doesn't have a strategy because Jackie has his wife as a manager. The two of them are...
How the hell did I get involved in this?
I don't know. It always comes back to you.
Well, when you're talking show business, there's Jackie and then there's everybody.
Right, because Jackie's like, I'll do Letterman every night. What do I care?
If anybody wants to build a cartoon around.
I can see that more than John Lovett. So, good pot-smoking cartoon for the kids. A little character that smokes pot and gets high and screams and bitches about how everyone in show business is passing him by. I like it.
Could you imagine your auditions for my voice?
Yeah.
Hey! Everybody in the world can do it.
Anyway. Yeah, Jackie can't do his own impression of himself. Can't do an impression of himself. Anyway, so Stuttering John yesterday, I'm leaving work, and he says, he was stuttering like crazy, mumbling like.
Yeah.
And he's walking downstairs with me, and I'm going into my car. I have to talk to you about some stuff. You have some questions? Like that.
Yeah.
Questions? I got questions. And I was just like, what is your question? Ask me the question. I'll give you an answer. I go, what is your question?
He first said, ask me on the air.
Yeah, at first I said to him, well, if you have a question for me, why don't you ask me on the air?
Yeah, always try to get it away from you.
Yeah. Yeah, and he goes, no, it's not that kind of question. It's personal. And so I was like, well, okay. You want to ask me something? You want to waste time and have a conversation off the air? Fine. So the next thing I know, he's getting into my car with me.
Was he going to drive home with you, or were you supposed to sit there?
I don't know. I had a meeting to go to. I guess he knew it. He says, I'll drive with you, and then I'll get out. It's pouring rain. I go, no, I'll have the discussion with you tomorrow. I thought. But now he's in my car having a private discussion with me.
Well,
he shanghaied me, and it was just so embarrassing.
It's hard to get you anywhere, man.
Hey, dude, I'm here all the time. I'm back there having lunch every day. You could get to me. You got to make an appointment.
I know.
No, but why not? Why don't you say, Howard, I want to talk to you?
All right, I'll make an appointment. I'm not the greatest at what's the proper etiquette or something.
Yeah, well, you seem to find ways of doing things when they benefit you.
What do you mean? You just
like to corner people at your convenience.
Yeah.
Is what he
in other words, that was pretty thought out. Because he was waiting around to walk me down.
No, I said to Tovich, I go in the office. She said, "Why don't you just wait and talk to him on the way down?"
Yeah, great. That was a good idea.
Well, so
this is the guy that's tracked down every celebrity on the planet.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the whole time I'm walking down, he's the same thing. As we get in my car, I got to talk to you personally. Got to talk to you.
Those people in the elevator, and
But he's always asking people around the office
what he should do.
What he should do.
Right.
Tobin told him to wait until you were getting into your car.
Well, Robin.
Yeah, maybe Tobin doesn't know. Well, maybe Tobin wouldn't know when I'm most annoyed by you. I tell Tobin I'm not really a fan of like walking down the steps after being asked favors from Stuttering John.
I always walk you down, so I figured it's always our little moment together.
But anyway, yeah. But while we were walking down, you should have asked me. I said to him, okay, you can ask me something personal. Well, next thing I know, he's getting in the car, and it was like, well, I figured like tomorrow at work he'd ask me something personal, or like just ask me.
Well, I stutter so much, I feel I need at least 10 to 15
Yeah. Well,
minutes.
anyway, ever since John got this record deal, it's always been based on his association with me. In other words, I'm thrilled he got the record deal. Atlantic Records on their own. They didn't approach me. They approached John.
Right.
They said, we'd like to put out a record with you. Obviously, we think there's something there. We think your music is good. They heard a tape, I guess.
Yeah,
and they got excited about it, and they want to release it.
So what does it have to do with you?
It should have nothing to do with me. But ever since John's getting the record deal, it's always been, the first time it was, would you write the liner notes for my record? Because that would be really important. And then I said, no. I don't want to write the liner notes for your record. And then it became, if you, and then you heard him here on the other day on the air, if you would be in the video, that would really get me added to MTV. That's what I really need. And I was like, no, I don't want to be in your video because, quite frankly,
it's not your band.
It's not my band, and quite frankly, I have a movie coming out, and there's going to be a soundtrack album. Maybe I want to be on MTV. I don't want to ruin the specialness of that, and I don't want to be in your video.
Yeah.
Don't ask me to do that. I told him that.
So was that the question?
Wait a second. So we get in the car, and he goes, I'm asking you to be in my video.
Again?
So, again, this is the second. You've already asked me once.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. You don't even know what you asked me to do. Everything is with me. Why can't I be left out of this?
When did I ask you before?
You asked me on the air to be in your video.
Oh, well, I just figured, okay, but I didn't really ask.
I told you no on the air. Well, was I lying?
I didn't really ask you, though. I thought, who knows if...
I think I made it kind of clear that...
He probably said, just don't ask me to be in your video.
Right.
No, he didn't.
I did.
You realize how uncomfortable it is for me to ask you?
So then he goes, this is very uncomfortable. I don't like to ask. And then Ronnie...
Where do these suggestions come from? Is this
I don't know.
out of his head or somebody working him like a puppet?
It's either the record company guys or it's somebody's working him and telling him. Now they're telling him if he doesn't... Obviously, because he's on this show.
Right.
A lot of radio stations won't add him.
Yeah.
So if he gets added to MTV's playlist, that'll make the record.
Right.
And therefore, if he puts me in it, they told him it'll be a sure thing.
On MTV.
Yeah, everything is going to be a sure thing if I'm a part of it.
Right.
Now, why? I don't know.
You're the biggest star in America.
No, I'm not the biggest star in America. No. I think there's a couple of people ahead of me. Like just about everyone.
I don't think so.
Yeah, but also, I don't need to be in your video. You got to do it. Either people are going to like your music or they're not.
Listen.
I love you. I would do I'm going to play your record on the air, but you just keep using me.
I have not.
Your record company guys are filling your head. No, you asked me for
John, let me interrupt you for a second.
But his record, you hit it on the head a few minutes ago.
Yes.
The record company guys are filling his head up with stuff. Everything is coming. If I don't write the liner notes, the record's not going to do well.
But that's exactly what I've got to... John, this is your music...
Exactly.
Excuse me, I'm not finished talking yet.
Good, thank you.
She's like my mother.
No, she's right.
Go ahead.
And you have to learn to say no when someone is just trying to capitalize on your association with this show because it is your
career. Can I just say one thing, Robin?
Career.
Can I just say one thing?
No.
The whole concept of the video.
No.
The whole concept of the video is that there's going to be a lot of celebrity cameos.
So go ahead.
So what? I wouldn't ask Howard. I'm here every day. I wouldn't ask him to be one of the celebrities.
No.
Oh, well, see, Robin,
But I told you I don't want to be a part of it.
First of all,
it's not. You know what? So anyway, so I started to feel. So then he goes. And if you won't do the video...
let me just say one thing. You're a hypocrite, Robin, and I'll tell you why.
Why is she?
Because when you had your one of the television shows that you were doing, you asked a lot of us to be in it. So you're a hypocrite.
Did you ever do a TV show with me?
No, but you asked me to be it. But you asked me, and I said yes. So you're a hypocrite.
There's a big difference in asking you and Howard.
Her asking you is doing you a favor. Which is one of the nicest things she ever did, and she shouldn't do that anymore. Now that you're complaining.
I certainly will not.
She's never once ever come to me and said, you have to be...
No, I didn't say you have to.
She never said, my video won't make it unless you're in it. I mean, that puts a lot of pressure on me. Suddenly now it's my job to make John's video.
I didn't say that.
You said that was
a quick cameo.
You said to me, if I'm not in your video... If I'm in your video, it will guarantee that you'll be on MTV.
Do you know a magazine came to me and said, if you get a picture with you and Howard, you can be on the cover. I said, it isn't happening. Get off my phone.
Robin, do you know how many people... Let me just say one thing. And in my defense, you know how many magazines come up to me and say the same thing? He doesn't hear about it. I never. I
It's
don't
your
say,
career, John.
Yeah, I know, and I say, you know something? This has nothing to do with Howard, and he's not going to be involved. This is the only thing that I've asked. Don't make it look like I bother you all the time.
Oh, come on now, listen. Ever since this album came out,
step of the way.
I have not.
You told me if I sang on your album, then it would definitely be added.
No,
you told me if I wrote the liner notes, it would definitely be added. Now listen to me. Listen to me carefully. I got news for you. I know show business. You know why? Because I've been reading about it for years. And let me tell you something. And I want you to understand this. Because after he said that, he said if you'll be in the video, then he asked me to do something else for you after the video. What else do you want me to do?
No, that's it.
No, there was something else after the video.
No, this is what I said. I said Inside Edition wanted to get.
Oh, right. So then he goes, then he says, Inside Edition wants to do a story on him. He doesn't care about it, but he's asking me.
Yeah.
Inside Edition will do a story on him if I talk to Inside Edition.
See, I knew something like this must be coming up because he was standing here stuttering at the door the other day saying he needed to talk to me for some advice.
I would have asked Robin before I even asked you.
That's what he usually does.
Because she was too busy.
If she's too busy, I'm too busy. Don't ever sidestep her.
I would have asked her and then she would have said no, and I would have asked.
That's what you should have done in the first place.
But she was too busy.
Now, I know what some of you think is, hey, wait a second, John's been a good guy for the show. Hey, Howard, why don't you do him a favor and this, that, and the other thing. But you got to understand something. Every step of the way, these record company guys have been putting pressure on John that I have to be a part of this. And they're wrong to do that.
They signed Stuttering John.
They signed Stuttering John. He's got good music. So anyway, I'm feeling like, oh, man, maybe I'm being too hard on all this. Maybe in the long run it doesn't matter at all. So I go to my agent and I say, listen, here's the deal. Stuttering John wants to do. I'm willing to do it for him. I like him, but you tell me what I should do. Here's this. He goes, absolutely not. You're not doing it. You're not going on some. John's gonna do just fine. It doesn't make a difference whether you're on the video or not. Makes very little difference.
What good does it do, John, if they play one of your videos?
Right.
Because the song is a really great song.
But if
so the point is, I'll explain to you. MTV,
yeah, but I have already promoted this album through the roof. Yeah, but just talking about this, I promoted your album. And I said when the album comes out, I'll play it.
You know,
what more can a guy do for you?
I'm just telling
every step of the way. You're a record company guy, and then he goes.
But if the only reason your video gets played is because Howard is
Robin,
in it.
Let me give you.
And then I'll tell you who else is a wise guy.
Let me give you an example.
I'll tell you who else was a wise guy. So then John says to me, you know, my publicist, John has a publicist through the record company. My publicist, Dan Flores, says, I said, wait a second, stop right there. I said, that happens to be my publicist, a guy I pay.
No, he didn't.
I don't do it through a record company. I pay him directly.
He has nothing to do with it. He
says,
know.
My publicist says that if you did the Inside Edition, I said, John, wait a second. Your publicist?
No, that's not true.
No, you said this.
No.
John, I'm not elucidating.
No. I said my publicist called me about this.
Oh, he called you.
Yeah, it wasn't even you. It was a person at the office and said, see if you can get sound bites. So that's the only reason why I asked.
Sound bites. So tell him to check with my publicist, who is your publicist, and they can confer.
Yeah, that's what I did.
He's the guy telling me no more interviews.
But he didn't even know I was asking.
So then why are you asking me?
He didn't know about the video.
You know who my publicist is.
No, but he didn't know about the video.
This is ridiculous.
Because then believe me, he didn't know about the video.
But listen, I'm doing a lot for you. I don't want to be made to feel like I don't. No. You keep having me reject you, but you know what my game plan is. You're part of this show.
Yeah, I'm not look.
Stop it already with me. Leave me alone, please. Leave me alone. I'm begging you.
Listen, you know how
I'll tell you what I did. You made me feel so damn bad that I went and asked the agent. He looked at me like I was insane. Because I'm not letting you do it. I'm just not letting you.
I can't force you to do anything. I asked you as a friend.
Your music is good. I heard your music. It's good.
I know. That's the point. Hold on.
In fact, you don't need an association.
Let me just say one thing, please.
Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam doesn't need an association.
Let me just say one thing.
If your music is good, it's going to make it.
Yeah, the point is,
I know the music is good.
In first video.
All right, I know it's good, Howard. But see, the point is, MTV has a problem adding things. Listen, it's added on radio. I'm gonna have a problem with that in a lot of markets because because I'm on the show.
Yeah, but what do you want from me? Is that my fault?
No. But what I'm saying is that
I've always given you a job.
Even White Zombie, for instance, they weren't played at all until Beavis and Butthead started playing them goofing.
Right. So I'll goof on your record when it comes to.
No, but I'm saying so a lot of bands need some kind of way to get into MTV. MTV is yeah,
but every minute with me, everything is now. If the record fails, it'll be
no, it won't be your fault.
Oh yes, it will be. Howard didn't help. All I did was help. All I did was help.
The music. I'm very proud.
What else do you want me to do, John, with this record? Why don't you tell the record company guys to take out a couple of bucks?
Howard to go out.
No, the only thing that
should I go out and do joint appearances with you?
Tour with you?
I wouldn't ask you.
Do you want me to sing with you? What do you want me to do exactly? First it was I have to sing on the album. Then I told you no. Then I have to, I said, you don't need me singing on the album.
Well, Howard,
then they had to write the liner notes. That was crucial. Then I said no to that. That wasn't crucial. Now, if I'm not in the video, you'll never get added on TV.
I've been affiliated.
Then if I don't talk to Hard Copy, you'll never be on Hard Copy. I mean, what is this?
No,
is this my record album?
No, Howard.
Howard.
People associate people.
You're making me uncomfortable.
No, Howard. People are inclined to associate Stuttering John with you.
No. They shouldn't. You are your own man.
Separate,
yeah, and I do. But I'm saying, so to have a small.
Your record's going to be a big hit.
Some involvement.
You're going to feel.
Isn't it tiring to argue with him because of this?
And then he gets in the car, and this was going on in the car. And Ronnie, the limo driver, just turns around in the middle of this and goes, user. User.
Oh, I thought he said loser.
No, that was user.
And you know what? Yeah, and I probably did sound like one because I
as soon as you get out, Ronnie, you know what? As soon as you get out of the car, you know what Ronnie says to me? I'm thinking of putting together a video on limo driving. Would you be in it?
Howard, it's not that. I've never. Come on, I don't ever put you up.
John, you put me up all the time. Since this record got started, you've been putting me up.
I asked you to do the line notes and
liner notes to sing on it.
Sing it, but that
wasn't real. That wasn't serious.
This is the only thing.
So what is serious? How am I supposed to tell what's serious?
I asked you on the air.
Oh, the liner notes wasn't serious?
Yeah, the liner notes would have been good, but he said no anyway. By the time he said,
you know who should sing on it? It's Fred. Fred has a beautiful voice.
Well, Fred played on it.
Yeah, well, there you go. I said he had a beautiful voice, and you had him play on it.
Well, I mean, he's a good guitar player, too, so what do you know?
Listen to me.
Yeah. Listen, I'm sorry for asking. I don't like to ask you for things.
I love you. I told you this yesterday as you left the car. I mean, I like you. I think you're a nice guy. I like you a lot. And that's why I even went and asked the agent about the video thing. He says, listen, you want me to be your agent? You got to listen to me.
He told you not to do things and you've done them.
What, like when?
The MTV
Awards. No, of course he told me that. He set the whole thing up.
Oh, really? You said on the air that, that he said that they didn't.
No, are you crazy? Listen, if you have an agent and you trust that, if you don't trust your agent, you should leave him. If you trust the guy's advice and you think he's good counsel, you got to stick with his game plan.
Well, fine.
I don't turn around. I've argued things with him. I put up an argument for about a minute about your video. What is it?
Well, I know where my bread is buttered. Howard's publicist, Dan Clores, is on the phone.
Yeah, good. Dan, what is this? Are you John's publicist or my publicist?
No. Howard, he's been very, very, very afraid to ask you anything.
Well, listen, every time you plant another story about John's album in the paper, my name is associated with it. I've lent my name to that.
Right.
I've certainly been there. I'm going to play the record. I've been a supporter. I say the music is good. But every step of the way, this guy. And then he comes to me and says, my publicist, Dan Clores, says that if you do the... I said, wait a second. My publicist, Dan Clores, is telling me not to do anything.
I didn't say
the only other thing we want to ask you is one day, the first week the album comes out, no talk, just 4 hours of Stuttering John music.
Well, okay. Well, listen, I'll certainly get behind it. What do you want from me already? Well, leave me alone, the both of you. I said, listen, I actually send him a check. You don't.
Yes, I do.
You don't send him a check. The record company sends him a check. You're a liar.
Yeah, well, what's the difference?
What's the difference?
It's all
the difference
name on it all comes out of my mind.
Oh, yeah. So if the record doesn't make a dime, is Atlantic going to make you pay Dan Clores back?
No.
Are you going to make you pay? Dan, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh,
but if it does,
I thought he fainted because he was afraid the
Dan heard his check was not going to... No, I physically sit down every month and write him a check.
By the way, Dan, the check's in the mail.
Thanks.
Do you hear what I said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, that to me is a little more direct than what you got going. As soon as Atlantic dumps you...
I sign the checks that I send to Dan.
Yes. You sign the check.
On my corporate checks.
On your corporate check?
Yeah.
What corporate
John,
check?
The most important thing, John, is, it's inevitable that people are going to connect Howard to you. But after a while, the music is going to take its own course.
Right.
That's right.
I know. I just feel that MTV is...
Oh, you know what it is? He's got people advising him. You got to get Howard. You got to get Howard.
And I really think they're pressuring him.
Howard, you're 100% right.
Oh, I know. I see what's going on here. It's a full court press.
But you know what? It's not John.
But he's got to learn to say no.
John's got to say, Howard is not interested. And I want you to help him say that.
Dan, haven't I said like a lot of things? I say, no, I don't want to get
John, it's everything.
Yeah. John, you've come to me every step of the way.
I think what you have to do, John, is because you don't have a manager yet, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Fire the manager, hire Howard.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You want me to manage? Yeah, I don't want to. This is my advice. I don't want to manage you either. All right. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
The great Dan Clores, a very well-connected man in show business. He's also Jay Leno's.
Oh.
And Dan Clores is featured in the book Late Shift.
Is that right?
He hung up on that one.
But there is
wasn't the best.
But there is other big celebrities going to do it, so I thought it'd be good to have you.
Well, then you have those big celebrities.
No, but it's just you know.
What big celebrities do you have?
He does have a couple lined up. He told me who he has lined up, and it's going to be very exciting.
Well, then good for you, John.
That's
Keep
all.
the association separate.
But I mean, Howard's my friend.
Why don't you? Hey, John, you're not my friend.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not my friend.
All right, then I should know.
When you come to my house, do I throw you right out?
No, we hang out.
Did I throw you out the other day?
Yeah, you threw Ralph out.
Do I throw out a friend?
You threw Ralph out.
Well, he's not a friend either.
Read Rolling Stone. Howard has no friends.
Right. Believe it.
All right. Well, you know.
Why don't you name
Not
your
Rolling
album?
Stone, Playboy.
Right. Why don't you name your album Howard? Seriously. That's the name. To have them call them up and tell them to call it Howard.
Or Howard says no.
Right.
Maybe that's leave the
That's a good song. Howard says no. Robin ought to put out an album.
No, this is I mean, I hadn't asked you, and this is like.
No, you have asked. This is the second time you asked me to be in the video. Now, when is the third time?
No, I won't ask you again. I won't ask you again.
Thank you.
I asked you at the
I would do it, but I've been advised not to. Okay.
So you know,
and I've done enough with this album. I'm doing all I can do.
He plans to do more. Just leave him alone.
Leave me
now.
alone. Go out and let me see this album already.
I'll leave you alone. You know, what else can I say?
Why don't you name the album I Did This All Without Howard? You're going to be very proud of that. If you make it, you're going to make it without Howard. You know
That's right.
Howard's going to play it for you. Don't worry about it, all right? Relax. And tell your record company to relax.
At the very beginning, what did we say? Who are they signing?
Howard.
You know, people have asked you to do liner notes. I know Leslie had you do his liner notes.
I'm writing the liner notes for Enough's Enough's new album right now.
So I mean, it's not like it's only new asked you to do something, but I'm
because your record company has been relentless in their pursuit of me. They've got to believe in you, not me.
They do believe in me.
What am I got to do with this?
You know, MTV is a tough nut to crack.
I'm going to beg all companies, stop signing my guys to do stuff. That includes Jackie, Fred, John, Robin, anybody. Anybody associated with
but it's just hard to, it's hard to completely disassociate yourself with you.
What?
You know, that's hard to completely disassociate.
Stand up like a man, John.
Yeah, stand up like a man, will you? I said I love you.
I love you too, man.
I don't want to be in a video.
But that doesn't mean he has to do everything.
If I want to, you know how many times I've been asked to do MTV videos by bands bigger than yours? Bon Jovi, all these bands. At one time or another when I was in their good graces. They've all asked me to make cameos.
I'm a little closer to you than them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but John, see, you're using... See, this is not love.
Because you're closer to me.
That is not love.
Because you're closer to me, you should understand more.
You should be able to get something.
Don't you think there were times that I really have a hard-on to be on MTV and be the video. I would like that. It's like I wanted to be in Rolling Stone for years. My agent wouldn't let me do it till I was on the cover.
I understand.
You understand? He has a plan. I can't conflict with his plan. He's the guy. So it's not me saying no. It's him.
I understand.
And stop putting him in uncomfortable positions.
And then stop saying to me, you've done stuff your agent told you not to do. Name one instance.
I thought the MTV thing.
Yeah, sure.
Well, only because you said it. I'm only going by what you say on the air.
Yeah, well, don't worry about what I go on the air. I told you. On the air, I'm full of crap. All right, that's it.
How come the agent was there, sitting in the audience?
Yeah, sitting in the first row.
Against it.
Yeah, he's real against it. It's real bad for us.
I'm just going by what you said. I'm not,
What?
I'm just going by
Stop asking me stuff. I'm behind your album. There's going to be no one else that plays your album more than I do. That's what you need. I know what you need. Now, don't listen to the record company. They're going to ruin your relationship with me. I tell you, record company, I don't need my career wrecked. Are they through trying to wreck my career, or do they want me to do more stuff?
I don't think it'll ruin your career.
What else do they want me to do? Why don't they write a list of things they want me to do, so I can tell them no all at once?
The only thing they wanted. Really?
No.
This week.
This week.
No, that's all.
No, there'll be something when the record comes out.
I mean,
John, you're so naive. You're acting naive.
You're acting naive.
I'm not acting naive.
You're acting naive.
I am not.
Do they want me to appear nude somewhere? How far do they want me to go?
I just know as a fact.
Do they want me to deliver the CDs to the stores on Saturdays, my day off?
They did a cameo.
Is he going to have to visit every radio station around the
country? I just know that if he did a cameo in the video, that would,
that would put you over the top. That's going to make MTV. MTV's going to look at that cameo.
You've got other big celebrities that aren't going
bigger than me.
Yeah, and that's not going to help at all.
Yeah, no, but I just, it would just be, I would just forget it.
it did.
You know, Robin, I remember having.
No, you know what's going to happen.
I remember
exactly. John is not going to get added to MTV, and then it's going to be my fault for the rest of his life.
Right.
It's going to be if Howard had only done it.
If he had never associated with you, he might have had a record career.
Yeah, right.
It's not like that. You know what?
I associate with you. I've always talked about your music. Atlantic got interested in you. We've always talked about you on the air. I did everything to get you this record deal, and then some. But ultimately, you got it on your own. Your music proved a point, and the people at Atlantic who know something about the music business, I assume, must have heard these tapes and said, "Wow, this is good stuff." They don't need me.
Everyone has heard it and said it's good stuff.
Well, there you go.
But the only problem I'm facing, and I don't even mind it. Don't believe me. I'm not going to.
Even this is promotion. Who else would care about your album? This is promotion. Leave me alone already. I promoted already.
I'll leave you alone.
I did my job. I'm like your parent. Let's tell your parents to do something. Let them be in the video. I tell you, I'm having a nervous breakdown from all these leeches.
It's not a leech, Howard.
You're a leech.
Every 10 minutes, he's sitting outside the door.
Robin, even you just said it would be funny just having me try and part of the video was just me trying to ask her to be in the video.
Yeah,
and
so that's
Robin,
funny. So do that.
I discussed with Robin like years ago that
here's the video.
Be a video. Your
so why don't you
knocking
on the door, looking for have a door? It says Howard Stern with a big star on it. You're banging on the door. You can't find. And at the end, you walk in and it's not even Howard.
Yeah.
All right, it's Fred.
Or Baba Booey.
You're doing great. Listen, Fred has been with me 100 years. He has music. He sits every night. He's recording. He's buying Macintosh computers to record on. Guy can't even get a record deal. What are you worried about? Fred sits home with his stupid bag and puts songs in there. Never once puts out anything. You're way ahead of him.
There you go.
I'll tell you one thing about Fred. He never asked me to be in anything because Fred doesn't have anything.
That's it.
Right?
All right, look, how could I know what to ask until I do? How would I know?
You asked me. This is the second time.
You ask way too much.
You do. You're a user.
Howard, can I say one thing in my defense? I've had this idea for the video to be like the player in a long time. You know what I mean? Robin, I've discussed it with you. I wanted to have a lot of little cameos in it. I didn't think it would ruin your career or anything just to make a cameo.
I didn't say it would ruin my career. It wouldn't ruin my career.
Why don't you get the people from the player? That
right.
I'm
the only one he's going to get.
No, you weren't in the
I'll
player.
end up being the only guy.
But, you are the closest celebrity friend I have.
Please. You're not my friend.
Yes,
you proved it to me over the last couple of months.
Ridiculous.
You just want me to do stuff for you all the time, and I told you I'm doing as much as I can do with this radio.
Can I just ask you one thing? Have I really asked you to do a lot?
Yes, every step of the way you've asked me.
No, am I 5.5 years?
And every time I say no, I'm the one ruining the record.
Am I 5.5 years? Have I really asked you to do a lot? Come on.
Constantly.
Howard,
give him a list.
Doesn't he remember coming to? Come on, man, can't you make a few phone calls?
Yeah.
I mean, my God.
No, I never asked you.
I'm the guy who sat and called record company guys about John's music. I did it. I did it for you. How much more am I supposed to do?
No, I didn't ask you.
What else should I do? Why don't you move into my house?
Can I move in?
Yeah, I mean, what is this?
I asked you.
I can't help it. Being on a little cameo is not... Let me tell you about MTV.
But, Robert, I didn't ask you.
This is how MTV works. A lot of musicians might be interested in this. They sit down, they have a meeting, and they listen to the music. And if they see something happening there, they put it on. That's how it works. That's the end of it. 3-year association with me. I bet you when the video comes out, maybe the people at Entertainment Tonight will put it on.
1 minute you're asking Howard to direct the video.
Yeah, that was the other thing. Then he wanted me to direct his video. That was the big discussion a few weeks ago. You don't even remember that.
You don't think I remember all these things.
Yeah, but if you did direct a video, do you see the pattern here? If I do the liner notes, if I do the video, if I do the interview with Inside Copy.
Mind. Why wouldn't I ask
if I do this.
He's the only one in the country.
There's other comic minds. There are other bands who I have never directed a video. Who am I to direct a video?
I just thought you might be interested in branching out and doing something like that.
I don't want to do that.
Listen, you'd be upset if I didn't ask you maybe. Who knows?
I don't know. I'm not upset.
So
I'm happy for you. Leave me alone.
But all right, fine.
I'm happy for you.
Now go away.
It's just, it's bad enough for you telling me, but then to have Hussein on the other end.
No, that's right. And she happens to be right. And why do you go to her, as you call her? You don't know her name suddenly? Why do you go to her?
I did.
Let's call you her from now on.
I said, Robin, I have to talk to you.
Why do you go to her and ask for advice?
Well, I have a 10-minute window.
Oh, boy.
You know what I mean? So what am I going to do? I'm stuck with just me.
Because people can't take it. 10-minute window means it takes you 10 minutes to get out one word.
Whenever he does that, I now know it's one of these
Then I even said to Gary, maybe you You should ask him because I don't want to put him in an uncomfortable position.
Leave her alone.
Because I know how uncomfortable you get in this position. So
she needs me to sell her book.
But I thought exactly.
Robin.
I'm sure she's asked you to do stuff in her book, hasn't she?
Robin has a different relationship with me.
I've only asked him to talk to me.
No, all right, and you're going to write what he says?
No, not necessarily.
You're a liar.
I don't know what he's going to say.
Excuse me, both of you.
She's lying.
Excuse me.
She's going to use what you say in her book.
I would do anything for her. She has done things for me that you don't even know about.
Hard.
Do you understand that?
I've done things for you that you don't even know about, too.
No.
There have been guys, when reporters try to get you, I've pulled off you.
Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something.
Would you be willing bodily harm?
Would you, if someone offered you hundreds of thousands of dollars to break up with me and go join someone else, would you do it? Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
No.
A year.
No.
You're a liar.
No, I'm not. If another radio station said to me, "Yo, come do what you do for Howard," I would say, "No way." I would say, "No way."
No.
Well, then I don't know what you're talking about.
No.
Is the offer still available?
Yeah. That's what I mean. I have a different relationship with Robin than I have with you. Different. Totally different.
All right, Howard, but I've done things, other things that you don't even know.
What?
There's things that I've done for you that
what?
What
have you done?
There have been reporters
I'm not keeping track.
at you, and
no, you don't understand something. You don't understand something.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything for me. I don't want you to do anything for me.
If it go, because the payback is a bitch.
Yeah, you don't understand. There's a constant. I've said to you, I've sat down with you. I said, John, here's what I want to do for you. I know you're hungry to get a record deal. You played me your music. I said, I think it's good enough that I know a few guys in the record business. I want to make some phone calls for you. I want to talk to people. I want to hand out your tape to them. I would like to do this. And I don't want anything in return. I don't want money. I don't want a piece of your record. I just want you to be successful. I believe in your music. When the album comes out, when you told me you signed with Atlantic, I said, you know what, John? I'll get behind it. I heard the tape. I think it's good. I'd like to give it a couple of shots on the air. I've asked you to play here on the air occasionally and present your music in the hopes that someone would hear it. Whatever I could do. Listen, I'm in a business where I got to keep the audience tuned in. I have taken time out with your music before it was even on a label and let you play it here to audition for record companies.
I agree.
You understand?
I agree.
Who has done more for you? You think that you're paid up?
Yeah. Here it is.
There's a sentence from before.
What is this? This is John running out of breath?
Yeah.
Already we have that on.
Oh, my God.
Let's see. Anybody associated with
but it's just hard to, it's hard to completely disassociate yourself with you.
What?
That's a great one. I'm going to put that in my computer. That's Scott showing off for Christine back there how fast he can work.
Never moves.
Never moves that fast.
Once.
All right. Anyway, yeah, once.
Watch this.
Once we move fast. Now stop with that. Every time you walk out of here, and every step of the way, it's been Howard, write the liner notes. Howard, direct my video. Howard, appear in my video. Howard, do Inside Edition. I don't do Inside Edition.
Yeah, I
don't do. I won't do Inside Edition for my own book.
Well, this week, and all that is forgotten.
I don't want to do that. That's all forgotten now?
I don't need to do anything.
All right, okay.
Well, what do you need him for next?
The only thing is...
What else can I do? It's your record company telling you that it's up to me. It's up to me to make your record a success.
No, it's not.
I can only do so much. I got to put a stop to this.
The only thing the record company said would be important was to do a cameo in the video.
I see. Now, that is not the only thing.
Is the video not going to be made now?
Yeah, it's going
to be made.
Then go away.
Then go do it. What? Now stop it.
I don't know. Stop.
All right. Thank you. All right. Stuttering John, everyone. Now leave the room
You
dejected.
make it so hard, John.
Yeah, John, I'm doing everything I want to do for you and more. Doing some things I don't even want to do for you. Because I care about you and I want you to be a success. And I know the day will come. Let's say this album is huge. You'll look back on it and say, that Howard was a real skunk. He had nothing to do with it. But I'm going to tell you something.
Won't even thank you when he wins one.
No, he won't. But let me say something.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I believe in my mind anyway. And I certainly hope the audience and Robin and Fred and Jackie. Well, who cares what Jackie thinks? But
because he's going with John.
Right. Yeah, you should do everything, man. What's the big deal? Howard was wrong. Oh, he'll give him plenty afterwards. Believe me, I'd like to be in the Jock Lounge for that discussion.
If you want money. Anybody.
Hey, he's a selfish business. Yeah, he stood in my way. I only got 17 homes now. Stood in my way.
I only have half a baby on set of
Do you know where I'd be if it wasn't for him?
Yeah, I know exactly where he'd be. All right, so listen to me. I'm such a bad guy I gotta again be a bad guy. I tell you, I would prefer not to be in the video. All right, this is the second time I've said this, that I'd prefer not to be in the video. I don't know where else you could Shanghai me.
I'm not going to Shanghai you again. It's the only time I actually...
And
it's the only time I actually had a conversation with you off the air.
I will say it again. I believe deep in my heart I have been honestly and sincerely behind your career, and I've tried to do everything I can do. You got to tell your record company to back off. Back down. Slow down. Get to work on the album. Tell them to produce. It's not my job to promote the album. I will promote the album because I believe in your music. And that's a lot. It's asking a lot of one guy. I don't play records. When do I play a record? I'm going to play a few records. I told you that. I like your music. I'm anxious about it. Want to talk about it. Just devoted 45 minutes to it. I'm the guy who even put you on the air so that you got the record deal. I made the phone calls for you. Did I call Tommy Mottola?
Yes, you did.
Did I call him personally? Did he not talk to me?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
He didn't talk to me. But I called him personally. I looked like a retard calling that guy about you. Did I speak to other record company industry people? Did I speak to other record industry people?
Yeah. Yes, I have.
Okay. Tell your record company I am the one who is behind you. But they got to lighten up. It's getting insane already. Howard, would you direct? Howard, would you produce? Howard, would you star in? Howard, would you sing on? Howard, would you write in? Howard, will you call this? Howard, I'm going to have a nervous breakdown. Howard, can I get in your car a few minutes and ask you again?
I mean, it's the only time
what do you want?
That's the only time
I can't believe he jumped in the car.
Jumped in the car. He was in there.
Well, he was in the car with me. Celebrities that I interview.
What?
Is he armed?
I don't know. I don't know what he was. It's insane.
I should have brought a tape recorder.
Yeah, you should have. That would have been worthwhile. I got to take a break, John. Please. I wish you the best with this album. I'm not leaving you in the lurch. I'm gonna use my channel, my MTV, if you will, to get behind your record, do the best I can. All right. All right. Thank you. I know you're disappointed. I know you're looking at me like, hey, you're a dick. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to say.
Later, I'll hear, you think I was really right? She should have done it.
Rob, believe me, I haven't talked to you in years. You're so busy. Don't worry about it. You know.
If he could catch me, this is what he would
You're
say.
smart. John, it's not that she's so busy. She sits around with nothing to do all day. It's just that she's avoiding you. I'm busy. What do you think? She's busy? If I was to say, Robin, let's get together, she wouldn't be so busy.
No, she didn't.
She's avoiding you. You don't even read the signal.
She didn't come to Jackie's party because she was too busy.
He races home and talks to the cats.
That's not funny. You know Robin woke her cats up the other night? All right. Listen, we're going to take a break.
So are you doing this video?
You should do it. All right, leave the room now. I don't even want to see you in private anymore. All right, go ahead, goodbye. Take your headphones off and get out of here.
Put a bag over your head.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
I love the guy. He's terrific. Go ahead. Stuttering John.
You didn't mean that.
That's insane. All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back right after these words.
We're back with the Howard Stern Show.
You know, after I laced into John for 45 minutes, I was in here with Fred and Jackie, and I said to them, geez, I said, this record company is just relentlessly making it seem that if I don't do all these things, that John's going to be a failure. And I was trying to get some sympathy, and Fred was giving it to me, but Jackie wouldn't enter into the conversation.
I know that Jackie is at the same level that John and several other people in the office are, so that's why John is in such a quandary.
Right.
I mean, I was back there on the John side, still trying to make sense to John because John is sulking.
Yes. I was trying to get some support from Jackie, but it won't happen.
I was trying to explain to him, and then somebody else...
out of it.
Just as I was getting John to understand the fine point here, Gary comes into John and says, look, John, you had every right to ask, and he said no, so that's the end of it.
Gary's a big help to me. He's such a huge... Gary doesn't get one nuance of what his job is supposed to be. Doesn't get it.
So I was like, all my hard work.
And, of course, Gary watches the Larry Sanders Show and fashions himself after... He wants to be like Artie, the producer.
Right.
But he never comes off and does it. Don't worry about it. You think John just got yelled at. I yelled at Gary on the phone for about 25 minutes the other day.
Is that right? For what?
Because he's back there wheeling and dealing in my name. And I don't want it. I told him next time, that's it, he's out. I don't want him making Planet Hollywood arrangements for himself or anyone else on the show without me knowing about it, because eventually I end up owing people favors. And I don't even know I owe him favors. But he's got it now, right? We had our discussion.
Yes, we had our discussion.
Yeah, I'm not even going to have that discussion on the air. That's how pissed I was.
You want to speak to
He's a wheeler dealer, my Gary. He is a wheeler dealer, and he doesn't see it. Bullshit, my friends from the record company. Why do I have to clear with you if I go to a concert? Because, Gary, they're giving it to you because of me.
We've already had this conversation. It's wrong.
I'm working it out with Robin. Just stay out of it. Stay back. Don't even interrupt. Don't interrupt, or else I'm going to get on you.
I'm talking to Howard.
Well, okay.
Don't even call my
set me
name.
off.
I'm working on a project. When you're done, Roa from the pageant is on the phone.
You're working on a project?
Yeah, I'm pulling something.
Hey, go ahead. Get out of the room quick before I go nuts. I went crazy. He was back there wheeling and dealing. I don't know. He, if I go on Planet Hollywood and blah, blah, blah. I just said, hold it. Well, let's go. So now the rule is, anytime if a box of duty comes in, it is to be reported to me. So I know what favors I owe everyone. Because everyone's on the phone making ski trips. There's all kinds of things going on in the back office I don't know about.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. Hey, what's the big deal? They're giving it to us. I go, no. They're offering it to me, and you guys are grabbing it. I don't even know what favors I owe people. So I just said, anyone who does it again is fired. That's it. That's the rule. If I don't know about it, you check with me first. Everything. Gary was hustling Barney tickets the other day, because after I went on the air and started screaming about Barney tickets, that he didn't get me the right seats, then all of a sudden I was being offered free Barney tickets. I said, no, I don't want any Barney tickets. Stop with the Barney tickets. Then he's taking the Barney tickets. He's handing them out. He's a wheeler dealer in my name.
Oh, no.
I said, please, stop. Stop with Barney tickets. I'm not looking for Barney tickets. If I want Barney tickets, I'll go buy Barney tickets. He's a wheeler dealer. It's just that eventually it comes back to me, to haunt me. I said, so if somebody wants something, Gary, you want to go to Planet Hollywood, tell me about it. I want to know. Mm-hmm. Go in and buy a meal from Planet Hollywood.
You mean he doesn't pay?
I don't know what he does. I don't know anything what goes on anywhere. I don't know what's going on. I just have to know what's going on. And if just because a guy's allowed to answer my phones doesn't mean that you're allowed to wheel and deal.
Well, there's a big problem here. Nobody knows how to say no to anything or anybody.
Well, they don't even have to say no. All they have to do is we have to check with Howard. That's all they have to say. That's it.
Well, it just reminds me of a phone call I got from Gary the other day. Some people had done an article on me, and then they heard us talking about something about the magazine, and they called Gary, and they wanted a tape.
Right.
And so Gary called me, and I said, well, I don't even understand what you're talking about. He said, well, the policy of the show is that we don't send out tapes.
Right.
I said, well, then you know the policy of the show. He says, but I didn't know.
That's the policy.
I was supposed to send out tapes.
No.
I said, well, the policy is that you don't send out tapes.
That's it. He's always writing policy. So I have gotten a handle on this stuff.
Yeah.
I think I have a lid on it now. I think. He's got and I don't want to be the big boss man around here. I really hate it. I don't like to be the boss. I just want to be a guy who does a radio show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is Stuttering John back there moping because I went to his video?
Oh, yeah. In fact, when I went to talk to him, Ganji came back, he's very sympathetic, and he just said, get out.
Did he say that? Good.
Just get out.
Yeah, stop it. How many kids his age get a record company deal from from everything that's going on? Be happy. You don't need me. What am I? Who am I? Nobody. I'm a big nitwit.
I won't even go into the discussion. It was sad.
What did he say? What did he tell me about it?
He's sitting back there, and I said, John, you really have to stop doing this. You're taking advantage of a situation now, and it's getting ridiculous. Just because you see Howard every day, to start asking him for things all the time about your record deal is ridiculous.
Right.
And he said, but who else could have asked?
You didn't get the point.
No.
Not that anyone else could have asked.
Yeah, don't ask.
Right.
He doesn't get that. I mean, he says, who else could have asked the question?
Especially, I said no once already.
Well, that's what. Well, now Gary's rationale was, I said he's asked before, and Howard has said, and I said he's asked before, and Gary said yes, but he said no every time. So I guess Gary feels he can keep asking until you say yes.
I know. Gary allows everyone to just ask me stuff all day and night. Gary doesn't deflect anything from me.
That's his opinion. That
Right.
as long as you have said haven't done anything yet,
Right.
in Gary's mind,
Right.
he can still ask you until you do one thing, and then I guess Gary will say, then you've gotten your favorite.
Can't Gary serve as a buffer?
No, because he doesn't get it at all.
Oh. Well, he's too busy wheeling and dealing.
I guess.
Ro is on the